Inner peace. Hi, today is Sunday. We last worked on the car on Friday. Telling you the day means sod all to you, but I like doing it anyway. We last worked on it on Friday. We're working on the rear quarter, and we've come to the point where we really need an extra panel, which I've ordered. I'm dying to cut it out, but I know if I do, without the new panel, if I cut too much out, big disaster, big sad face. So as much as I want to do it, I'm going to leave it. It's also Sunday, like I've just said. I don't want to make too much noise. And not only that, when we worked here on Friday, it took me 2 hours to clean up because of all that filler dust that we had in here. I had to mop the floor twice, so I'm not bothered about making too much mess either. We're just going to have a dead steady, lazy Sunday, pottering about. The little one's out, she's learning to ride a bike, so I've got one eye on her. While I'm doing that, you know, let's just do a little bit. We've come to the point of no return now. The fuel tank's out of it. The fuel tank's totally had it. Off camera, a little bit later on while I was tidying up on Friday, I shook it and managed to shake out enough crap to fill that. So it's beyond repair. It's junk. I am going to cut the filler neck off it though. It might come in handy somewhere down the line. I don't know what I'm going to do for a fuel tank yet. If I keep that, it might come in handy. That'll be a hacksaw job. We won't be tackling it with the grinder or the plasma cutter because there'll be a big nick-shaped hole in the ceiling. And it took me long enough to put the roof on this, so I don't want to have to do it again. Yeah, a dead steady Sunday. We might look at getting the front bumper off it. If we do, I think to get the grill off, I think the radiator has to come out. You know, I'm also getting short of storage. This isn't I know it looks large on camera, it's not. It's only a 5x6 and it's got 2 cars in here. 5 metres by 6 metres. So space is at a premium, really. I've got some plastic tubs knocking about, stuff that I'm not going to need for a long while. It's going to go in the loft. I've not told the wife this yet. But yeah, if I don't need it, it can go up there. We'll worry about that another day. So this is going to be Sunday, pottering about, dead steady, nice and easy. Let's see how far we get, shall we? Trying not to trip over this. There's a generator on the floor that my brother dropped round a couple of days ago to store it for a week or two. I'm trying not to trip over it. I'm going to go flying backwards and land on my arse any minute. Aha! There we go. One bumper. Okay. I think it looks better without bumpers on it, you know. Let's see if we can get this water out of the radiator. Oh, that's the water out of it. It's cleaner than I thought it was going to be. Thought it might have been full of rust. Now that's out, we'll look at getting the radiator out. This keeps looking at me. I'm dying to get the grinder on it. No, leave it. Leave it till the new panel turns up, Nicky boy. Oh, not much come after that. Well, it didn't come off how I was expecting it to. You're right, pain in the arse, that was. It's got more runs than, I don't know if you can see that. It's got more runs than Brian Lara. Another bit done. Was the red fan the sporty option? Or did they all come like that? Look at the belt, look. Can't see it, hang on. The fan belt's hanging off it. Right then. This front panel, the front valance part, is supposed to be really hard to change. And I've not really sussed it out yet. I can't really see where it goes to, so I think we might, looking at it, because the middle doesn't look too bad, it's just the ends. I'll have a think about that. I don't know if I'm going to do... Someone's been around it, look. Yeah. I'll get the new panel out and see what it looks like. Because it sort of goes over the chassis there, look, doesn't it? Right then. I've had my thinking cap on, and I think we can do this. There's a couple of things we're going to need to consider, but I think we're going to be okay. We're going to go for full replacement, not just replacing the ends like I initially thought of. But that's still subject to change, so yeah, I tell you what, I've noticed this, look, it's already had a patch there, and it goes around the back, and they have put the patch directly onto the chassis. So we're gonna have to try and get that off best we can, somehow. Or at least just get the grinder down there. Can't think of a better word for it. Can you see where they've welded the plate onto the chassis? So there's that to think about. And also, this bottom bit is spot welded to the front valance as well. Now, I've got these bits, but the end here. So I've not got that bit. So we'll need to get our thinking caps on and try and work out how we're going to try and save the bottom of that piece there, that cowl piece. So what I'm going to do is, I'm dying to get the bloody grinder out, and I promised I promised myself I wouldn't do it. I don't want to tidy up. What time is it? Oh, it's 2:30 in the afternoon on a Sunday. I'm dead keen to get ripped in. What we're going to do, look, is we're going to cut that out to let the dog see the rabbit, shall we say, because it's going to need the repair in the back as well, which I'm not too concerned about that. It's got a hole in the corner there, and I initially thought that's going to be hard, but it won't be, because if we take this bit out, then we'll be able to repair it from the back, if you know what I mean. From here, rather than that way. I'm not making any sense at all, am I? Right then. It's only a little bit. Shall I just chop it out? Oh, look at it. Right. Let's get the grinder out, shall we? Get the door down, get the grinder out. Come on, let's get ripped in. Bloody saw's broke. I've had that years. We've had a real calamity here. This is no good at all. We broke the bloody saw. I'm hoping we can get it going again, otherwise we'll be on eBay for another one. I had to dash off. It's bloody thrown it down, and the wife's got the washing out. I've had to, I guess, go and chuck all that through the patio door quick. Right, yeah. So I think I've started this video without considering what I was even going to talk about. Yeah. Can you sort of? Yeah, we're going to be all right with this. I know it looks a bit daunting, but I think we're going to be okay now. Now we can see inside it a bit better. Yeah. Right, and I'm going to have an hour tidying up. I need to dry that before I bring it back in as well, otherwise it leaves puddles all over the floor. I'm not bothered about getting the car wet. I just don't want to get my garage wet. Right, let's have a tidy up, shall we? Every time I walk past this, it's bloody staring at me. It's calling my name. So I might just cut it out. You can get a repair panel for that, but I think for what we need, I think we'll just cut a square out and put a square back in again. You've got to be careful not to cut through the inner part of the arch there, so I'm going to try and pick it out best I can. The heat of that has already warped that, look. Oh yeah, baby. Look at that. More mess. There you go, look, you can sort of see what we're dealing with, look. So this bit is the inner arch. You can just see my finger poking through there. So we'll get all that cleaned up, we'll see what we've got. Can't really go beyond that line, you see, because I need to keep this line in to make it look right. But yeah, I'm definitely taking you on a journey today. I'm working it out as you're watching this, so right, I'm definitely going to tidy up now, definitely. Hi! Today is a glorious Thursday. We last spoke on Sunday where we cut the front of the car out because we were bored. We started another job without finishing a job. Anyway, today, like I say, is Thursday, and during the week I have been doing a bit. I've not really filmed it. So that's where we got to on Sunday, and over the week I've pulled the headlamp, I've pulled the indicator, and I've also pulled the loom through. I've marked it all up so I know where it all goes to. I've pulled that through as well. I've started taking the wing off. There's a couple of bolts that I'll need the car down to be able to reach at the back. And we've been waiting for the panel to turn up so we know what we're looking at regarding this back quarter. Well, yesterday a package did turn up, and it's either an oar for a canoe or it's the panel for that. Let's get it unpacked and see what we've got. Right then, so the bottom of the door's arrived. That's a lovely panel, that is. As you can see, they've joggled it. They've rolled it to make it a repair panel. So what you would do with this is you would cut the door, you'll slide that bit up the back to weld it. Now, I like to butt joint things because you won't have a lip. The lip can collect muck and water and dust and all the rest of it, and if you can imagine the water that's inevitably going to run down the glass in the side there, it'll land in that joint. So I'm not quite sure if we're going to do the repair like that yet, or if we're just going to butt join it. I'll think about that. Most people would do the repair with the joggle strip in it. I'm just a bit funny when it comes to things like that. Let's see if it'll fit. There we go, bit of masking tape on there, we'll call it a good one. And then we've got the back corner, which I'm excited about. There's a lot more panel than we need there, which is good. The guy who posts them loves this brown parcel tape, and it's dead hard to get off, so I'm going to be spending the next 3 months trying to get that brown tape off there. Yeah, that's much more than we need. That's brilliant. So we can literally pick where we want to cut to, cut it out, expose it, I'm going to cut that. Oh, I'm not going to bore you with it. I've got plans already, and one of them is to cut that flange off because we're not going to need it. Yeah, we can get a bit done now, can't we? Squeeze past. We've got plenty of panel to play with now. Now we've got the new one. It goes really quite high up. It goes all the way up here, look. But I'm not going to be replacing all that. We're just going to be concentrating really. Yeah, they do make it oversized for you, definitely. I'm going to creep up on it. I'm going to put a line underneath there. We're just going to cut that bit out. I'm going to cut along that flange to get this part out of the way to see if we've got enough out to get the back out. I'm going to basically take out as little as possible. Then if we do make a mistake or we need to cut a bit more out, we'll have a bit left to play with. So I'm going to put a bit of a line down it. I'll put a couple of marks on there so we know where the bottom is in relationship to that line. So from there to there, 74mm. You've got the hang of it, so we know where the bottom line goes to when we put it back on again. Right, let's see what's in here. I bet it's all sorts of horrible junk. Oh, it's a sad day as well. We're gonna have to sentence the gloves to the scrap bin. I'm gutted. These have lasted 6 months. Anyway, time for a new pair. I love these lights, they're brilliant. Right, we've had a bit of a clean up and you can see where all the flanges are on the old panel. So I'm going to offer it up, see if I can work out. Some bits aren't there anymore, they've gone, the rust's got to them, and I don't quite know where the panel ends. But essentially I think it's just welded down that flange. That isn't there anymore. There's nothing at the back. Then we've got that flange around there. So it may actually be quite a simple panel. It looks complex, and when the bottom of the other panel was in there, you couldn't really see what was going on. But now it's out, you get a much better idea of what you've got. So take a mental image of that, and then I'll get you off the tripod and I'll sort of poke you around what's sort of in there, and we'll see if we can't work it out between us. Okay, so it's a bit hard to film and point. There's a flange there that my finger's on. That's a flange that goes all the way around to this corner here. And as you're looking at that, that's that part, the top flange on there. The back corner, like I say, is gone, but that's that part. And you can just see the remains of the old flange there, look. That part is, it's hard to do this, is that part there. So that's that. It's not welded at the back, which is good. That saves me a job. And all the rest of it's no longer there. So all I need to do, this part here, oh, there we go. This part is the outer part, yeah? So all that can basically come out. So now we've got some sort of idea of what it is, we can cut all that out and be quite ruthless about it as well. We're not trying to save anything, so to speak. Keep looking at the time. Oh, it's only 9:30. We're okay for a bit yet. So, I don't know if you can see very well. All we need to do now is to remove this flange, and it's spot welded on. So I'm gonna have a crack, see if I can find some of the spot welds. Be a lot easier getting the spot welds out than what it'll be trying to get that flange off with the grinder. So I'll have a go at that next. Right then, that's about as much as I dare cut out without taking all the references away. If I cut any more out, I won't know what to work to, if you know what I mean. So I've kind of worked out what we've got. This is a panel on its own, and it's spot welded to this panel at the back. So we can make this out of cardboard. What I'm not sure about is if this panel enclosed that triangle. Do you know what I mean? So I think what we're going to do is make this piece out of cardboard to end with a flat line across the bottom of it. Then we can cut it out. This piece is basically the whole of the back arch. That's the full inner wheel tub, if you like. So we're just going to remove a part of that, the rusty part at the end. You can see again where it's spot welded. Let's get to focus on the right part. This part is spot welded to this part, so this bit should come out easy without too much hassle. Then we're going to need to replace this bit, which encloses that. But it comes down here, yeah, and closes that bit off. Let me try and show you. It does that look. Sort of does that look. Yeah. So that comes straight down. I'm going to keep all these bits just to remind me. So we're going to replace this part, the bottom of this part, that part, and what I'd like to do is get this is a twin skin here, and I like to get the face off it. I'm guessing it's spot welded on, but the hardest bit is going to be cutting across here, because I don't want to go through, I only want to go through the front skin, not the back skin. There's a row of spot welds here where it's spot welded to the boot floor. So like I say, I'm getting to the point now where I really need to start to mock some bits up, because if I don't, I'll forget where it went to. I've took a load of photos, but time's pressing. It's 11:15 in the morning, and I'm in this mess and all that mess. And I want to put everything away before I go to work. I've also got some plastic tubs to put the front end of the car in, and hopefully I get that done today. So while it looks very daunting around the back, while it looks like there's a lot going on, I think it's going to be quite, not easy, but not as complex as I first imagined it to be. So that's made me a lot happier. And I know that I'll know that when I finish that back corner, it'll be rust free, and that'll make me really happy. I'm going to tidy up. I don't know if this will be the end of the video, because I know editing through so far, we're already up to about 17 minutes worth. If it is the end of the video, au revoir. If I'm still here in 30 seconds, how do again? You'll have to wait and see, won't you? He's still here, look, yeah. Today is another day. It's now Friday. Yes, for Friday. I've still got to go to work, but last one of the week. While I've been editing this video, a very clever friend of mine called Claire, who is a genius amongst the community, has pointed out this would be a good opportunity to remove the shackles from the rear springs, because you can get into them now, nice and easy to get to. They're very hard to get to usually. Well, not hard to get to, but they're made awkward because of where the spare wheel carrier is. Am I even in frame? Let me just have a look. Yes, I was in frame. So, this video was 37 minutes. I've been ruthless with the editor this morning. We're down to about 26 minutes. So I need 4 minutes of me struggling to get this out. I'm not going to do anything when it is out. I'm going to grease it up and put it back in again, because I'm not yet in a position to do anything about it at the moment. But like she says, be easier to do it now than what it will be when all the panels are back on. So I'm just going to have a muck about for 10 minutes, and this will finish this video off. I think it'll be nice to start the next video making the templates and making the panels. We'll start from scratch. We'll have a nice new video for the panel replacement. Still a bit daunting, this, you know, I've never done this before, so I'm learning as I'm going. But I think I've got a good idea in my head of what I'm going to do. Whether it pans out that way, your guess is as good as mine. Right, let's have a crack at getting this shackle out, shall we? Oh, well, I don't want to jinx myself, but that came undone quite easy. Oh, that was loose. Right, let's not get too excited. Let's see if they come out. Right, watch this. Right, well, that's a special thank you to Claire, because that would have been really hard if all the panels are on. There we go. There she is, look. Now what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to leave it for now. I can knock the bushes out, but I'm just going to put the shackle back just to keep the axle from drooping. I can order the bushes, but I don't know if I'm going to use these springs. So that's something else to think about. While we're thinking about things, I did waffle on about brakes earlier on. I might cut that bit out of the video because I was waffling a bit. But essentially what I was going to ask was, remember the MG that we had in? We got it in for the spindles for the front disc brake conversion. I also had the back axle bits out of it. So there's a 3.9 final drive. I've got the back plates for the hydraulic brakes. And I've got the linkage for the handbrake as well. I phoned the moto build fella up, whose name escapes me, I forgot his name, to ask about how we go linking the handbrake to the car, and he said he's got a centre pull kit that goes down to the back to the original mechanism. Well, this axle hasn't got a mechanism on it, and I said to him at the time, do I need to cut the bracket off the old axle to weld onto this one? And he said no, but I'm a feeling I either didn't get my point across or he's made a mistake. If you know how to connect the handbrake mechanism to the axle, that'd be brilliant. I've got the lever bit, I kept that, and I can make a bracket to weld to the axle if I need to. Is that how it's done? If you know, I'd be very, very grateful for any information regarding that. Right, I've been thinking about this. I cut it out in haste. I need to make it bigger. We need to see what's behind here. So there's that to think about as well. I've told you that to remind me. There's a fella outside using a brick saw. I don't know if you can hear him. Yeah, we've done that. The next video we're going to start making some panels. I think it'd be nice to start a fresh video for putting things back in again. I think that's it. It's Friday. Go and enjoy your weekend. And if you could see fit, if you hit the subscribe button for me, I'd be forever grateful. That'd really help me out. So I'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much. Go and enjoy your weekend.